Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. It's been a hot minute. I apologize for that. My last two videos didn't really do the best. One, because I did a Q&A. I only have 1,000 subscribers. Nobody cares about me right now, okay? Nobody's gonna watch a Q&A on someone they don't know. So that was a dumb move on my part. And then I did an Among Us video, which I actually thought was pretty entertaining because I was so angry. I was getting so rage baited. So that was funny, but I didn't have my face in it, which also was my bad. Also, do not mind the hair. I know I've said this before, but genuinely, whenever my hair is in a braid, for the most part, that means it's dirty. So it's not gonna look good. I don't know how long I'm gonna have these blue light glasses on for because I just don't want to get a headache while I'm reading what I'm reading. And that brings us to what our video is today. Today we are reading Reddit stories. One quick announcement before we do start the reading. I'm gonna need y'all to go follow the Instagram. I know you think I'm joking, but I'm not. Go follow the Instagram. I'm so excited. I love Reddit stories. I watch the Smosh Reddit stories all the freaking time. Every Saturday. You know I'm on that. I'm watching the Smosh Reddit stories. So this is gonna be a little exciting, a little fun, a little silly. Yeah! First Reddit story. Am I the A for kicking my boyfriend out of my house after he cut my hair? Already based off the title? No, you are not. If somebody cut my hair, I don't even care if I went to you for you to cut my hair. You cut my hair, you're leaving. I'm suing you, beating you up with kindness. No violence. We don't accept violence here, all right? No violence, no violence, no violence. I'm guessing he cut your hair without your permission or without your consent. So that's what I'm assuming. So I'm just gonna say no, you're not. Hello everyone. This is the first time I've ever made a post, and I only made this account simply because I don't know what to do and need help. That's what I'm here for. I know this might sound weird, but my hair is really the only thing I love about myself. Me too! Just kidding. I love a lot about myself. Without getting too much into it, my insecurities run so deeply, so my hair is really the only thing I like. It's bright blonde and it reaches down past my waist. I've been growing it for 6 years. Okay. From where we're going, I'm already cutting the story off. Okay, from where we're going, my hair isn't that long now. My hair used to be down past my booty cheeks. Okay, my hair used to be long. I think it was like 3.5 feet. Yeah, almost 4 feet. But I cut it because I wanted a little flavor, a little spice. I want a little spice, a little flavor, a little difference, a little layers, all that good stuff. But I love my hair so much. I care so much about my hair. My hair is, it's my pee-pee. My pee-pee. And she's been growing it for the past 6 years. I'm already mad for you, okay? I don't even know the rest of the story. We're connected, twin. We're right here. We're right here, okay? My boyfriend knows how much my hair means to me and says it's one of his favorite things about me. He came over the other night. We're both still in high school. And he slept in my bed as usual. Everything was fine until I woke up in the morning and looked in the mirror. A chunk of my hair on the left side was cut. It was probably only cut a couple of inches, but I freaked out and started panicking. I asked him if he knew, and he said no at first, but I could tell he was not telling the truth. I started screaming at him to tell the truth, and he finally broke. He told me that he did cut it, but he only did it to see if I would notice. Hold on. You cut one side of her hair a couple inches shorter than the other side, and you wanted to see if she'd notice. Yeah, I would notice if my hair's like this. Who wouldn't notice that? I'm already pissed, okay? I'm mad. I'm mad. He said my hair was so long, so surely I wouldn't notice if I lost a few centimeters. He told me it was just a prank and that he didn't even cut that much off. This is where I might be the a-hole. I screamed at him to get out of my house immediately. He protested, but I kept screaming until he left. For some context, he lives at my school, boarding, which is 20 minutes away by car. I don't know why I said it like that. I didn't care at that point. I wasn't really thinking about how he would get back. I stayed in my room for a while and just cried. He didn't reach out to me, but his friends did. They kept texting and calling me and telling me I shouldn't have kicked him out of my house, and I was a terrible person for it. They told me he got back by Uber, which was expensive, and one even brought up the fact that I should cover the cost. Some of my friends agree him cutting my hair was bad, but they think I should have just driven him home. Well, no. See, you cut off my precious, beautiful locks, meaning you can go home and you can get an Uber, and I'm not going to pay for your crappy little Uber. I'm not paying that doesn't even make any sense. You do something bad to me, so I should pay for you to go home? No, do it for yourself. And if your friends care so much, how about you guys pay for him? Go pay for your little boyfriend. Like, what? Dude, I don't care if I'm already, like, getting mad at this and I seem like I'm being dramatic. My hair also means so much to me. So I can understand the pain, the doom and despair of this haircut. Not to mention, that's just so mean. Like, that's, what? Why? Who does that? Like, what was the point? Like, I know 5-year-olds that do that because they don't know better. You're not 5, are you? No, I mean, they're still in high school, but come on, bruh. I seriously don't know what to do. I haven't talked to him since, and he hasn't reached out. Do I apologize? Do I pay for the Uber ride? He didn't even cut that much hair off, so maybe I'm overreacting. School doesn't start for another week. It's just that boarding students get there early, so I have some time before I have to face him. Please give me advice. I don't know what to do. I don't think you're the a-hole. I think I made that clear when I tweaked a little bit. I don't think that she is the one that should be owing them an apology. I think she's the one that should be owed an apology, because that was, if the way I'm imagining it is, her hair was like this, like only one side was cut a couple inches. She said a couple inches, and then he said a couple centimeters. So I don't really, either way, you shouldn't be cutting somebody else's hair without their permission. That's, dare I say, assault. That could be a little dramatic, but I'm just going to go ahead and be dramatic and say that is a form of assault. Even if it's like a tiny, like, low grade, that's so mean and toxic. And also, it's funny because he's trying to make him and his friends are trying to make you seem like you're in the wrong here. You're the bad guy. Like, it wasn't even that much. Like, you should pay for my Uber. So, to answer your question, I don't think she needs to apologize. She didn't do anything wrong. It's her house. She kicked him out of because he did something crappy to her. I don't see why that needs an apology. Like, maybe sorry for screaming at you. If you were to apologize, do it like that, but I wouldn't be like, sorry for sending you home. You can come back. And I was overreacting. Because you weren't. Okay? Remember? You weren't. Do I pay for the Uber ride? No. No. Absolutely not. You do not. Like I said, if his friends care so much about him having to pay for his own Uber ride, they can pay for him. It's also, I think it's so petty and it's so weird to get your friends to text your girlfriend. Even if he didn't get, like, why are you confiding in other people about your relationship? Like, I get if you, like, really seriously need to confide in, like, a best friend, but multiple people, and then they go and bash your girlfriend or they text her, like, that's just weird and immature. If you're asking if you should break up with him, I know you're not literally asking that, but me personally, he'd be out the door literally and metaphorically. I would no longer be talking to him. I don't care how long you're dating for. That's freaking creepy and weird. I feel like that's just like breaking a form of like trust. Like, I feel like if you're cutting my hair in my sleep without me knowing and without my consent, what else would you do? You know, and you're only in high school right now. I feel like it's not really gonna get better from here. I personally, if he knew how much I love my hair, like she said that he did, you knew how much I love my hair, like it was my like prized possession, like this is the thing I love most about myself, and I take good care of it, and it's beautiful, it's long, blah 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 blah, and you also love it, and in my sleep, you cut half of my hair? What's going on? I don't trust you. You're scary, bro. I don't care. Call me dramatic. Go in the comments and call me dramatic. Say that I'm being stupid and I'm being dramatic for thinking that she should break up with him and that he's a little toxic and scary for doing that. If somebody that I trusted did that in the middle of my slumber, we can't really talk anymore, dude, because I don't know what else you're capable of and I don't trust you. And also trying to gaslight her into thinking that she was being over dramatic. Okay, let's buzz half your head off in the middle of the night without your consent. I just want to see if you notice. I just want to see if you know. Holy crap, I'm so pale, bro. This is what This is what low iron gets you. Okay, next door. Let's get into this, Jean. Am I the a-hole for refusing to see my husband's teenage mistress as a victim? Just based off of that, I would say yes and no. Let's just get into this before I make an assumption or before I answer, because maybe it's not what I'm thinking. But this hits a little close to home, not because my husband had a teenage mistress. Anyways, this is a throwaway account for obvious reasons, but for some background, I, 62 female, had been with my husband, 52 male. Okay, I see you, cougar. Oh, for 3 years. Married for not even 1. We moved to a different country together and live a nice quiet life in rural Europe.
Oh, bougie! Literally.
A few days ago, his phone was buzzing off the hook while he was in the shower. Thinking it was news about his sister, who had been ill back in the US, I checked the screen and saw many notifications. I looked through everything, and long story short, he had been cheating on me online with a high schooler. Oh! From what I could tell, it had been going on for more than a year. And when I confronted him about it, he told me what I believe is the whole truth. They had started talking when she was 15, and she was now 17. I felt sick, obviously, and demanded to know how serious it was. Evidently, it was pretty serious. He sent her money every month, bought her underwear, asked and received inappropriate photos of her, and paid for practically anything she asked for, as well as spent hours of time talking to her a day. They even talked about marriage. Additionally, the total amount of gifts and money and things she had received totaled more than 10 grand. We are not rich by any means, so this was a lot of money. Oh my gosh. Can we get Gideon over here? Can we get Skeeter Jean over here, please? Because that's really disgusting. I left the house and I've been staying at a hotel since. I haven't told my family. I'm too yeah. Yeah. You say you word vomit, literally. Who's that? That's my impression of millennials every time they mess up a word. I'm too humiliated. I don't believe he's attracted to children.
I think you're not in the right headspace, so that's why you think that, because he's attracted to a child, meaning he's attracted to children. He wanted to marry a child, meaning he's attracted to children.
Yeah, so sorry to debunk that. I saw photos of her, and while she looks her age, she doesn't look like a child. Alright, well, 15 is a child, so can't look your age, but also not look your age. And it was an online thing, not physical. The whole thing has made me insecure about my appearance, as she looks my exact opposite. And I stupidly went to the extent of dyeing my hair the same color as hers to alleviate the feeling of being unattractive to him. In their messages, he admitted to thinking about her while being intimate with me, which just made me resent her further. I'm so, that's actually awful. Girl, how old are you? 62? Girl! Go get you a silver fox with a lot of freaking money. Divorce him. Y'all haven't even been married for a year and he's doing this BS. And also, it was before you guys were married. Oh my gosh. Ew. Divorce him, alright? Sign them divorce papers.
Get a lawyer. Obviously, because you got to do that before you sign divorce papers, I think. I don't really know how that works, even though I am literally a child of divorce.
You think I'd be a little more educated on the topic, but I'm not. Go out. You go to a bougie... What are those? This is how you know I'm not rich and I don't golf. What are those, clubs? What is it called when you go golfing and it's not a townhouse. No. Kaden, if you're watching this, let me know down in the comments what the frick that thing is, what it's called. Golf club? What is it called when rich people go and they golf and they drink tea or whatever?
What is it called?
Anyways, go there, pick you up a rich, a bad, a built, a jacked, built jack, like that type of thing. Lost some money. Obviously, if you're country club! Go to the country club. Obviously, if you're at a country club, you're gonna run into some fine, rich shites. Find you a silver fox who's rich and who isn't attracted to minors. She knew he was with me.
Oh! And you're a butthole.
And I understand that as the victim here, I may not be thinking straight, but I still love him. If I found out that somebody was cheating on me, I would no longer love them or even care about them. After that, you kind of just like, out. So I don't understand that personally, but I think it's okay. It's okay that you would still love him, would because it just happened. I don't know what to do or think. When I confided in my longtime friend, she was furious and told me that if I didn't report him to the police, I would be enabling the exploitation of a child, but I don't agree. Well, you also just said that you didn't think that your husband was attracted to minors, and that you're still in love with him, so maybe your mind's a little clouded right now, maybe just a little bit. I think your brain's a little clouded from everything that just happened, because one, you should go to the police. You know what? This is what we're gonna do, guys. We're going to message her. I'm gonna be like, hey, Mrs. 62-year-old female who's probably like super, super bad. I want you to go to a country club. I'm gonna tell her all of that, what I already said. And also, I want you to go and tell the police about your husband talking to a 15-year-old for 2 years and giving her 10 grand. But if you don't do that, which I do still think you should, at least use it as blackmail to get whatever you want from him. Do we like that idea? The first thing you should blackmail him into doing is giving you 10 grand. Just 10 grand straight up. Or, he could buy you stuff that lead up to 10 grand, so it's like even between, main chick and side chick. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. And if you don't, I personally will send them your IP address. You're going to get swatted. She isn't a child, she knew we were married, and she chose to be a homewrecker. I don't see her as a victim here, which is why my friend called me an a-hole and blocked me. I understand that she's young, but I'm the one who was betrayed. Am I the a-hole for not seeing her as the victim? I think it is normal to feel like you are completely the victim in this, because I know of a situation kind of like this. What I was thinking, somebody was like, yeah, but she's a victim, like the 15-year-old, she's the victim and blah, 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 blah. This 15-year-old knew that this person was married and had kids, babysat the kids. And so my thought process is, I don't necessarily see the 15-year-old as a victim. Like, obviously they were manipulated, like that. I completely understand being manipulated, and in that sense, yes. But at the same time, it's like, you're 15, 16, 17, you should know better. Because, like me personally, I wouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. I'm not 15, but I wouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. Because I know better, I wouldn't be going and having a whole relationship with a father or a husband. I didn't see this person as necessarily completely a victim, because it's like, you should know better. You should know not to be doing this. You should know that you shouldn't be dating someone who's married and has kids, or just in general is married. That's disgusting and that's weird. Like, that is homewrecking. Like, I was mad at that. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't be a victim of something that you knew. But at the same time, she was being groomed and she was being manipulated. So it's like, yes, technically she is a victim, and so is this person. I would say you are not the a-hole for not seeing her as a victim, because being this angry and this like betrayed, I can completely understand why your everything is clouded right now, and you're like, well, she's not the victim because she knew about this. She knew we were married. She still decided to do this. She's not technically a child. She's 17 now, like blah, 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 blah. I can understand that. I can completely understand that. I can understand why you're feeling bad for yourself and you're like, she's not the victim, I am. Because you both are, right? It's just of different things. She's the victim in this situation, and the child, not the child is the victim of grooming, right? I wouldn't say she's necessarily the victim of this situation. She's more of one of the antagonists. She was the victim of this man, but not the victim in this situation necessarily, if that makes any sense, because she still was a wrongdoer in this. I might get canceled for that. I don't really know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but we're just gonna leave it at that. If I find a different way to word it, I will drop it down in the comments, but that's my take on that, just because I kind of have heard or seen something similar to that, and that was my thought process. Next story, brother. I've been living the stupidest possible lie for 15 years. Let's see what this is. I can smell, okay? I can smell just fine. Gosh. I told a little white lie when I was like 11 to seem quirky and different, and I insisted it was true for so long that everyone I've known for at least 5 years believes this. My whole family. My oldest friends, I told them I can't smell. I insisted that I couldn't smell. Why? Good question. No clue. Every time someone would offer me something to sniff, like a candle or a scented spray or some kind of food, my little baby teen self would be like, I can't smell. And everyone would go, oh, right, duh, I forgot, sorry. People would go, ew, do you smell that? And I'd hold a poker face and go, no. Even my parents, they'd say, if you can't smell, how can you taste? And I went, I don't know, my body's just weird. I think you can still taste food without smelling. It's just not going to be as like, you know? And I insisted upon this for so long that I convinced them. Because why would I insist for so long if it wasn't true? I don't know. It's not. I can't react if something stinks. I can't give cues if I smell something out of place. I can't buy candles in front of people. I've had to turn down aromatherapy stuff. It's so stupid and such a small thing, but I've learned it permeates way more situations than people think. And I know if I told anyone who believes this, they'd be baffled and ask me, why the heck would I lie about that? Because I wanted to be quirky in 2012. That's it. With people I've met in the past 5 years, I'm undoing it. People I've met in college, at work, online, they know I can smell. And it's so relieving just being able to take a effing whiff of curry or something and go, that smells so good. Like, this is more dire than telling people I'm trans. I'm so for real. I told my conservative parents I'm trans, but I will take the fact that I can smell to my grave. Okay, thanks. Somebody said, tell people you had nasal polyps removed and get your ability to smell back. I feel like there's been shows that have solved this. That's so funny. That's such a, like, for me, that'd be such a difficult lie to hold up. Telling everyone I know that I can't smell, and then you just have to act like you didn't just smell the person right next to you shart. Imagine somebody sharted, and you're sitting on the bus, somebody sharted, and you're like, they're like, what's going on? I'm just having a seizure. Like, you can't say that you're smelling it. You just have to pretend you're having another medical emergency. That's how I think of it. And I'm a very expressive person. I have a very expressive face. So if I smell something, best believe my whole face scrunches up. That would be a really difficult thing to lie about. And I don't think anyone would believe me. Not for more than like maybe a day. And even that's pushing it. That's a while. Okay, our last one. Am I the a-hole for cutting off my daughter after she slept with her sister's husband? No. I, 59 female, have 2 daughters. Emma, 35 female, and Chloe, 33 female. Emma has been married to her husband, 36 male, for 11 years, and they have 2 children together. Chloe has been married to her husband, 34 male, for 8 years, and they have 1 5-year-old son. About 6 weeks ago, Emma called me just after midnight, completely hysterical. She told me she'd suspected, the retainers are working overtime right now, suspected for months that her husband was hiding something. He'd become distant, completely guarded his phone, and was always finding excuses to stay late at work. That night, after he fell asleep beside her, she looked through his phone for the first time. She found years of explicit messages between him and Chloe. The affair had been going on for almost 4 years. Emma was devastated. She kept asking me how her own sister could do this to her. A few days later, we were at my brother's birthday party when Emma confronted Chloe outside. Ooh. Boy, I wish I'd been there to see this. I love confrontation. I don't love it. I prefer it over non-confrontation. I just like seeing people stick up for themselves, okay? Chloe denied everything at first and insisted Emma had misunderstood. When Emma said she'd read the messages herself, Chloe completely fell apart. She started crying, admitted the affair, and kept repeating, I don't know why I did it, I'm so sorry, it was the biggest mistake of my life. Emma asked me how 4 years could possibly be a mistake. Chloe had no answer. The argument escalated into a screaming match. Chloe tried to slap Emma, but several relatives stepped in before she could. Chloe's husband quietly took their son home after realizing what had happened. Within days, he told Chloe he wanted a divorce. Emma also filed for divorce after her husband admitted everything. Well, first of all, why are you trying to slap her? She didn't do anything. You're the one sleeping with her husband, doofus. That's an idiot move, okay? And you didn't even get to land any slaps or punches or anything. You just look like you're flannel. You just look like you're flailing around now. After it all came out, Chloe called me 82 times in one day. I answered once because I hoped she was calling to explain herself. Instead, she cried the entire time, begging me not to abandon her. She said she already lost her husband, was probably going to lose shared custody of her son, and couldn't bear losing her mother too. She said she knew she didn't deserve forgiveness, but begged me not to hate her forever. I told her I couldn't look at her the same way anymore. I said this wasn't one bad decision. It was years of lying to her sister, her husband, and the rest of us. I told her I loved her because she's my daughter, but I didn't want contact with her for the foreseeable future. Since then, I've ignored every attempt she's made to reach out. This is where my family thinks I'm wrong. Okay, well, I already don't think you're wrong. Me, personally, I don't do cheating, okay? I cannot stand cheating. Once I figured out you have cheated, I don't care if you're my best friend, okay? I don't care if... Elsie, I don't care if you're my best friend, right? If you cheat, you're done. You're gone. I no longer like you. Ellie, if you cheat, you're gone. Ella, if you cheat, you're gone. Blah, 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 blah. You cheat, you're gone. You're going to be dropped. All right? I just don't do cheating. So I understand, like, I would do that to my brother. I would do that to my mom. I would do that to my dad. My sister says Chloe has already lost everything, her marriage, her relationship with her sister, many of her friends, and likely the family she dreamed of giving her son. That is your fault! That is nobody else's fault but yours, okay? Now you're gonna sit here and you're gonna live with the consequences of your actions. You wanna cheat on your husband with your sister's husband for 4 years? You lose your son, you lose your mom, you lose your sister, you lose the rest of your family, you lose your dream life. Maybe you shouldn't have freaking done that, okay? Actions have consequences, and sorry, not sorry, but this is your consequence. Deal with it. Suck it up. Grow up. Learn to deal with your own crap. Okay? Don't involve me in it. They say she's genuinely remorseful, has started individual therapy, and isn't trying to justify what she did. They argue that if a mother won't stand by her child after they've hit rock bottom, who will? This is the thing. If you hit rock bottom, and I was your mother, I'd be there for you every step of the way. Best believe it. You didn't just, like, sink to rock bottom, right? You swam. Like, you held on to that rock and stayed down. That is your fault, right? You hit rock bottom because of your actions, not because, oh, life just hits you, right? Something's happened to them that they can't control. This was completely in your control. This was not rock bottom, like, oh, I lost my job. My husband left me because he doesn't want to be with me anymore. Or my son passed away. Or like that. No, honey, you cheated. Okay? I don't care if you've hit rock bottom. I do not care. You dove to it, bro. You were the rock, all right? So, shut up. Do not make this mother feel guilty for not sticking by her cheating, nasty daughter. In the end, she did it to herself. Nobody else but her did this to herself. The other sister's husband does have play in it, but you could have been like, no, I don't want to have a relationship with my sister's husband. I don't want to cheat on my husband and possibly lose my 5-year-old son. You could have done that, right? Right? You could have. You could have. But you didn't. So stay on that rock. Your new name is Patrick Starr, all right? You're staying down there and nobody's going to help you get out by yourself. They also remind me that cutting Chloe off means my grandson is growing up without his grandmother, even though he's done nothing wrong. See, now, I can't argue with that. Everything else I can argue with, though. I understand all of that, but every time I think about welcoming Chloe back into my life, I picture Emma reading those messages alone in the middle of the night, realizing that the two of the people she trusted most had been lying to her for years. I don't know if I can move past that. My family says I'm punishing Chloe forever for something she already deeply regrets. I don't think it's genuine regret, because I think genuine regret is, doing it and feeling regret and remorse immediately after, not because you got caught. She's crying and she's hit rock bottom and she feels regretful because she got caught. 4 years. You could have cut that off at any point. Like, you didn't need to be freaking sleeping with your sister's husband, right? That wasn't a need. This poor mother. She's being gaslit left and right. Woo! You didn't regret it when you were doing it. You regretted it after you got caught and everyone found out. That's the only reason why you regret it. Because if nobody caught you, you would, most likely she would still be going at it, bro. I feel like I'm simply refusing to pretend it never happened. Am I the A? hole. I know a lot of people are used to seeing cheating posts and always thinking they're fake, but what would you do if you were in my shoes? I think you are in the right. I would do everything that you're doing right now because I would not be able to move past that. I completely agree with that. And like I said, I've already said this multiple times. I don't care. You cheated. You did something stupid. Now you got to deal with it. I just really, really hate cheating. If it were something else, maybe, you know, I'd be like, give her a little grace. She regrets it. But even then, it's like she doesn't regret it. She does regret it, but she only regrets it because she got caught. And she now has to deal with the consequences of it. She's regretting it because she's like, oh my gosh, now I'm having all these consequences of my actions. I don't know. If I were in your shoes, I would ignore them because they're trying to gaslight me, and I would continue along with my merry little way and continue with my beautiful little daughter, Emma. So, yeah. I don't believe she's in the wrong. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope this is interesting for you. Give me more things you want me to react to or videos to make. Soon, when I hang out with my friends, we are hopefully going to be doing a blind, deaf, mute baking challenge. My plan is to make more videos with my friends when everything starts to get situated, because they've moved, and then my other friends, they're busy with work and stuff, and then I got stuff going on. I just need to start getting on a schedule so I'm not posting like 2 weeks apart. So it's in here. My schedule's in there. I'm going to try and stick to it. Anyways, comment down below if you got any more Reddit stories for me to react to. Please let me know, because I love me some Reddit stories. Almost died. Comment down below any more video ideas you have for me,
And any more things you want me to react to.